The TV Western Gunsmoke ran for a whopping 20 years and produced 635 episodes. If you grew up watching the show, then you'll definitely recognize the cast, led by one James Arness. However, did you know that Gunsmoke started off on radio? And yes, that is Howard McNear, aka Floyd Lawson, in the corner there.
Just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with the U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke.
In the 1940s and 50s, one of the premier American pastimes was gathering around and listening to the radio. Some liked music, but millions more enjoyed syndicated scripted programs, which took the efforts of hardworking scriptwriters and storytellers to come to life. These programs varied in genre, but one of the most popular was the Western. Shows like The Lone Ranger and The Cisco Kid, while popular, had somewhat of a juvenile flair to it despite the subject matter. Executives were in search of a Western with grittier themes. Something akin to The Adventures of Philip Marlowe starring Gerald Moore, but just set in the West. After just a few auditions, well-known actor William Conrad was cast as Marshal Matt Dillon. Rounding out the cast was Georgia Ellis as Miss Kitty, Parley Bear as Chester, who'd later become Festus, and Howard McNear as Doc. Conrad brought a certain edge to the role of Marshal Dillon, primarily through his deep voice, and the show aired across the United States for 9 years. When it came time for its popularity to hit the small screen, however, Conrad and the others were not kept on. The reasons were many, but a primary one was that showrunners thought Conrad was too overweight to play Matt on television. Actors Raymond Burr and Denver Pyle also auditioned, but were turned down. Burr for the same reasons as Conrad. Despite the radio cast not making the transition, the radio version of Gunsmoke stayed on the air until 1961, even as the televised version was still in its infancy. No matter the version you prefer, having nearly 3 decades of Marshal Matt Dillon solving crime in Dodge City will always have its place in pop culture.